And some market opinion then, Nilesh Shah of Kotak Mutual Fund reveals how he made money from beaten down stocks like Deccan Chronicle as well as Satyam. In this exclusive unplugged conversation with Anuj, he talks about the big investment bets and why he regrets not buying Gujarat Fluoro.
The way we identified this stock was essentially based on the fact that whenever we went to meet Tata Motors, they would always say that, I'm dependent upon Bosch in terms of what components they supply. Those were the days of the early 90s, mid 90s, where, if a component maker could control, the original guy, original equipment maker, the power. At that point of time, there was a big FII who was a seller of that stock. And that's where the stock had corrected to about 1750 from 2500. There were very few people who were willing to bet against that FII. We did our homework and thought that this is great stock to buy. And we picked up that stock. And then it was, later on we realized that we were not the only one to pick up that stock. There was another gentleman also whom we could, rely upon who bought that stock. And then the rest is the history. That stock has done fantastically well. Yes. And, in stock picking, all you need is to back up your guts with calculations, with data, with analytics, and the job is done.
So do you think the equity scarcity premium or whatever it is for companies like Bosch, that's always going to remain, these stocks are always going to remain expensive as they are right now?
No, I can't say that with surety. Like human life, you become young, then grow old. Surely in valuation also maturity will come. But as long as a company like Bosch retains their competitive advantage, they retain that technological moat which others can't jump over, they will definitely retain their premium. It's all about companies running hard to remain in the place they are. Certainly Bosch today gives that confidence that they will retain their technological edge.
You have made money in stocks which have destroyed value. Satyam is a case in point. Deccan Chronicle is the other case in point. Tell us the story about how did you manage to make money in these stocks, and what does that tell you about the psyche of stock market or timing in stock markets?
So in Satyam's case, in my fund, we had always remained underweight on this stock. And this was primarily driven by the fact that all the technology companies were invested in my mutual fund, but Satyam never invested any money. They were never invested in liquid fund, never in income fund, never in gilt fund. And that was kind of strange. We always wonder, what is this company doing with the cash? So we have always underinvested in Satyam vis-a-vis benchmark. Now, there was a time when Satyam suddenly announced that they are merging Mitas Infra into that company. Yes. That resulted into a correction in the stock. And at that point of time, we thought that, the correction has happened, stock is becoming cheap. Even if we ignore other income, probably it's worth buying. So we bought Satyam. Now, as the luck would have it, Mr. Raju came on television, on CNBC channel, I vividly remember, and he made a confession that there's no cash in the balance sheet. As the luck would have it, I was standing right next to my dealer, and I said, dump all our Satyam. I didn't wait to speak to my fund managers. I simply said, whatever is our sellable quantity, just give the order to sell. And we were lucky enough to sell and make profit over our acquisition cost. On that day, I remember Satyam fell from 180 rupees to 10 rupees. And we could exit at a reasonably high level and still make profit in Satyam. On the other hand, Deccan was a case where we were IPO investor. We did our research on the company. We saw the company moving from Hyderabad market to Chennai market to Bangalore market. And the stock actually delivered about 6-7 times return to us. We had almost near 10% stake in the company. There was one great research analyst called Prabhat Avasthi from Nomura. One day he came with a research report saying that the advertising revenue shown by this company in Hyderabad is more than the total advertising revenue of Hyderabad, including Telugu and English newspaper. My first reaction was that bullshit. This is not true. How can this be? But then he persisted with his data. He arranged our meeting with one of the media buyers. We did our homework and we realized that yes, this is true. Then we looked at the balance sheet of the company. The company's cash was going up and so was the debt.
Okay.
And then we took a call that it's time to book profit.
Gujarat Fluorochem is one of your regrets, that you did not invest despite having conviction in that?
So I joined, in my job at ICICI Prudential, and I put a condition that we will not invest in any stock till such time we have met the management. We had launched a value fund over there, Discovery, and based on quantitative analytics, we had figured out that Gujarat Fluoro is the stock to buy. But we couldn't meet the management. We tried on our own, we tried via broker. And then I said, look, we will follow the investment process. We will not go by our gut. We will not invest till such time we have met the management. That costed me a 10-bagger stock.
Okay.
Maybe I should have got the flexibility to invest in companies even when managements are not willing to meet you if you have done your homework properly. I think that was a lesson.